Good morning, everyone. I shared a thumbnail picture of the video that I'll be doing this morning. I shared that picture on the Double O Days Facebook group, and you'll get many early warnings and other information on that group. So please go and join it on Facebook. We've gone over 3,000 followers now, and I really want to thank the people that have made that possible. And yesterday, for the first time, I asked the people to start inviting their friends there so that we can spread the message far and wide. This effort is your effort, and I really want to thank you for that. If you are new to the channel, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications for new videos. In the news today, I'm doing an article. I actually can't believe I'm doing this. It's not April 1st, it's not April Fool's, but coming from the wet Western Cape. And the headline, this is from the Sunday Times Live, reads, "Toads in a hole as Cape Town gets tunnels for amorous amphibians." I'm not joking, people. There's actually someone that has won a tender to put in toad roads underneath streets where they cross and normally get squished by cars. So the people want to protect these amphibians, and they obviously believe that the IQ has grown overnight and that they will rather choose these tunnels, as you will see the tunnel on the thumbnail. And you can also see a link to the article in the description below the video, so you can go and view it there. But the first picture in this article with the headline, "Toads in a hole as Cape Town gets tunnels for amorous amphibians," you will see the toad road underneath the highway. How it was built, I'm sure the contractor's making a fortune out of this. And the subheading for the picture says, "One of the tunnels built for western leopard toads near Zeekoevlei in Cape Town." Now, I've done a lot of fishing at Zeekoevlei in that area. I can tell you that the roads and all the infrastructure in that area is absolutely shocking. So this is an area people are normally, the DA doesn't look after. The DA runs the Western Cape. But in this case, they're building a highway for toads underneath the road. Now, I'll get to my thoughts on that a bit later, and the mentality of these absolutely insane, psychotic people. Cape Town is what I believe to be South Africa's first tunnel built especially for toads. The two tunnels have been built near Zeekoevlei, so endangered western leopard toads can avoid being squashed by vehicles while crossing the road. Now, I just have to mention here, why will the toad now not just carry on straight across the road and go and jump down into the underroad tunnel? It actually has to think then, with the less than a pea-sized brain that it has, that it should rather take the road to not get squashed by a vehicle. It needs to be aware of vehicles. It needs to know the danger of vehicles. I can carry on and on for hours on this, but these extreme leftist nutcases cannot understand basic understanding of how brains work and the difference between a human and an animal. They don't want to understand this. In fact, they believe that we are far less worthy of this earth life than the animals are. But let's continue. 3 more tunnels are planned, and walls will be built to guide toads into them when they migrate towards the vlei during breeding season in August. So if you look at the picture, you will see these guide walls. I can tell you, you still have to go down into this hole. Why will the toad pick that little 2-meter wide section when there's an entire flippin' road? They're still going to get squashed. They're still going to go over the road. This is absolute lunacy. Let me continue. The Cape Town Environmental Education Trust, which is in charge of the Western Cape Leopard Toad Underpass project, said it hoped other animals would also use the tunnels to cross the road safely. People, this is where we're headed. Nutcases in charge. 5 underpass tunnels are planned for installation along the road, with 2 tunnels 50 meters apart being installed this season, said the Trust Species Conservation Manager Louise Baldwin. I would like to have an interview with Louise Baldwin and ask her some of these questions with regards to the mentality and the brain capacity of a toad. I wonder how much money has been spent on things like that. Very similar to the shrimp hamster wheel for a shrimp to run underwater on a hamster wheel, and for funding from the US Senate to actually study that. This is where the world is going, people. We will fund things like that, but people are starving all over the world due to hunger. During the breeding season, we will monitor these tunnels to ascertain the number of toads utilizing them. So more people assigned to actually stand there and watch this. And I can assure you they are funded. They are not volunteers. And determine if there is a decrease in road mortalities in the area. A decrease. For the lucky toads that by chance happen to go into that little walled area. Go and look at the picture and tell me what you think. The western leopard toad is listed as endangered in the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List and is found only in the Western Cape, where development is continually reducing its habitat. Within the last 20 years, the toad populations have undergone drastic declines from urban areas where they were once abundant, said a trust statement. The populations are considered to be severely fragmented because no one site holds more than 50% of individuals, and the distances between subpopulations are considered to be too great for dispersal within one generation. More than half of the occupied habitat is in small isolated patches, and more than 50% of subpopulations are considered non-viable without continued conservation. Now, in my thumbnail you will see a little sign, and I've seen this many times while driving around in Cape Town, to say that you must be aware of toads crossing the road, and that is probably the most proper way of assisting the toads, because you're communicating with a human that is driving a car with headlights in the rain that can steer the car around the toad. That would make sense to me. But to actually build a road for the toads. Anyway, you tell me what you think. Maybe I am completely oblivious to the intelligence that's all of a sudden developed in these toads. If you look at this tunnel, the entrance to that tunnel is maybe 2 meters wide. I have no idea why any toad would go in there. It looks like a complete farce to me, and it looks like a money-making scheme, and some overseas investor feeling that his or her money was well spent. Well, at least at this stage in South Africa, I can still say his or her. Thank you very much for watching this channel. I continually need your support. Thank you very much for all the support that we've been given, and thank you for backing this project to create awareness and giving my perspective on history as well as the future. And my perspective here is clear. Humans are less important than animals. If you actually look at this infrastructure being put in here, and I have no problem with conserving this toad, and there's many other ways, far more intelligent ways that this can be done. And for people to go and build these little highways, as they call it, cement. I mean, a toad doesn't want to jump around on cement. That is already the first problem. But they wouldn't think of that now, would they? Yes, this is the future for these people. So if we don't create a collective conscience that can actually think logically, we are in trouble. So please, people, we need to grow the numbers of people that think rationally, and let the sheeple see that that number is growing. They will just follow us. Thank you very much. Till the next video.